Dig this. You're not gonna believe this. Listen. Is that amazing? Listen. Different sound with the ashtray and without. Hi, homeschoolers. It's just Uncle Larry throwing metal around. Here's an old box of rock. I used to use these. I used to get these rehoused. I'd like to be rehoused. What if you could rehouse your own self? You know, just go into XTS and say, rehouse me. I would get the body of a 25-year-old Adonis, and I would change my name to something really cool, something that rhymes with Harley Davidson, like Charlie Davidson. That would be rad. Look at this cup. Look at this cup I got. So rad. The Acoustic Coffee Company, and look who's on it. Sweet Greggy. Isn't that rad? Gruen Guitars. I'm sure you guys have all have your subscriptions for the Acoustic Coffee Voros blend. We're all found, all the dough from the proceeds goes to the MS Foundation. I'm sure you all have that. Damn it. How's it go? That's it. The Viking scale, I call that. Viking sounds. I hope everybody's doing great out there. We're getting into homeschooling. What volume are we on here? 2014? Thanks for all the kind words about yesterday's. Look at this cool strap Drew gave me. The original Ace Hendrix strap. How cool is that? Probably worth $1 million. But you can never give gifts away. Never sell gifts or give them away, because that's bad juju. We don't need that in this world. Speaking of gifts, here's that old 54 Esquire that Greg gave me a while back. I goofed with making it a telly for a while, but then I put it back to its fine Esquire originality, because it's just cooler like that.
On the bone up on those high notes. Let's hear how much meat's on the bone with the original ashtray. It's amazing how much this changes the sound. Somebody needs to make a pedal that simulates what putting the ashtray cover back on does to the tone. I also want to make a pedal, I've been talking about this for years, a pedal that simulates the snare rattle that you get in the rehearsal hall when you play low notes on your guitar. That would be pretty cool, sympathetic snare rattle pedal. I got a lot of good ideas. Remember that movie Night Shift with Michael Keaton where he says, I got a lot of ideas, they just come at me. Like Michael Keaton says, you know, feed the mayonnaise to the tuna fish while they're still alive. Remember that movie? Great movie. Anyway, not much going on today. I'm going to go down and see Joe Glazer. We got a cool idea cooking for the Music City Bridge. I can't tell you about it, but we got a cool idea cooking. And we're always scheming things, me and those boys, you know, we're scheming things, trying to change the world, you know, improve some of the technology that's been plaguing us since we saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. I got some stuff in the VCB. Let's see. This isn't the original pickup in this guitar. Greg found me a pickup out of a 1960 Tele Custom. That's what's in there. And it sounds pretty good. Some of the coolest steel guitar playing I've heard in a long time is on this old Waylon Jennings song called I Can Get Off on You. I sent a message to Paul Franklin saying, who played this steel guitar on this track? He said it was Ralph Mooney on an old Showbud. Check that out. Waylon Jennings, I Can Get Off on You. Listen to the steel guitar. I say if some young buck came along who could resurrect that steel sound and bring that back to country music, Lord, man, they would make millions. People couldn't get enough of it. If somebody can come along with that tone in this day and age and pull that shit off, here's another business opportunity. Learn how to fix a Wurlitzer or a Rhodes and move to Nashville. You would have endless work. Don't tell anybody about that. Let's get into the VCB. I don't care if it was planned or not. Ebo has great comedic timing. Yes, he does. He's a funny motherfucker. We get together and just do nothing but laugh. See, two phones. The one I'm filming this with and the one I'm looking at. Yeah, he's hilarious. All these session guys are hilarious. Every damn one of them. it's a common thread. And along those lines, somebody said something, I was going to bring this up. What's wild is that, this is terrible. This guy needs some help with the grammar, but his intentions are good. What's wild is that you a bunch of what seems like let's read that again exactly. What's wild is that you a bunch of what seems like mindless noodling, and then suddenly whip out solid and ballsy parts with huge tone and feel and commitment right on cue that are ready to be printed. What I think he means is that, session guys in Nashville or probably anywhere joke around and act the fool up until the very last second, until somebody hits record, and then they immediately go into full-on assassin mode. That is really funny to watch. I mean, literally joking till the very last second before count off, and then they just go right into a whole nother character. I suppose I've learned how to do that too over the years, and it's fascinating. I mean, session players love to joke around. They love to laugh. Some of the most hilarious shit I've ever heard in my life is what gets said in between songs, goofing around. Man, I wish I had tape rolling for some of that shit, because these guys are so damn funny. You just never know what somebody's going to say. Here's another one, VCB, which stands for Viewer Comment Bin. The Bohemian Grove, like you played for Bush, Cheney, and friends, because I mentioned being at the Bohemian Grove on that lit video. Yeah, have you been to the Grove for a week to hang out? Because I have, and if you want to know what the most commonly misunderstood thing in American culture is, I would definitely have to say it's the Bohemian Grove. Everyone thinks they know about that shit and what's going on in there, and no one knows. It's all a bunch of bullshit rumors. It's an awesome place, and it's, I think people are just apt to criticize things that they don't know anything about, because that's what human beings do. I can't get behind that door, so I want to make up rumors and false things about what's behind that door. Human nature, we all do it. But I was at the Grove for a week years ago, and I had a blast. I don't think I would go back. I think one visit is enough, but I sure enjoyed it, and it was very cool. And it's unlike all the shit you read online about what it's like. Let's see. One guy said something about doubling slide. Let me see if I can find that. He said, I was going to tell you guys something that we learned. He said, I never thought about how hard it might be to double slide. He saw me doing that telly slide. It's not that hard, but we learned I always say, I don't care how long you've been doing this. I've been doing this shit forever. I swear to God, every day I'm in the studio, I learn some new trick. And we were talking about this yesterday. I was talking about this with Ebo. Guthrie and I went in the first day, and there's this one tune on our record I wanted to do one acoustic song, but it's not just two acoustic guitars. It's like a band, pretty rockin' track, but we're playing acoustics through the whole track. And there was one part on the roughs when I heard them back where the one guitar sounded a little bit out of tune, right? And it was a part like Guthrie was playing something like, it was like one of these parts. Kind of thing like that. And like some of these high notes sounded a little bit out of tune in the track, So I was like, man, it's out of tune, but it's kind of close. And it's like, we could leave it, but it probably is going to bother me. And I said, let's just try fixing it. So we tried replacing it, but then we lost the vibe. Then we tried doing the part with a different instrument. We tried using a mandolin. That didn't work. Tried using a big mandolin. That didn't work. And we were starting to get a little frustrated. And then And then what happened was, guess what the fix all was, which is what we should have done right out of the gate. Just double it. Just you leave the original in and then double it. And I swear, man, immediately it fixed everything and it makes it sound intentional, right? I mean, a lot of what makes things sound special on records is doubling effects. A lot of people have mentioned like how are you getting a lot of these tones on like that Morgan Wallen record? There's a lot of like unique sounding guitars on there, and Joey, the producer that makes those records, is really big on doubling, tripling, everything. So if there's a hook lick, you get a good hook lick with a cool sound, but then when you double it, it's even cooler. It makes it sound special. So we were all just like laughing at like, duh, why didn't we think of that first? But again, every day is a learning process. So we went through this hour of hell trying to get, but we finally fixed it with the most obvious thing. So for all you out there at home, when you got a tuning issue on something, instead of trying to replace it, fix it. If it's a cool part and it's a cool sound, try doubling it first. See if it fixes it. Because, remember that we were joking about Sling Blade, man. See that? He thinks it's the most obvious thing first. Ain't got no gas in it. All right, so let's move on. One guy sent us in an email. The gear page is the most. No. Wait a minute. He said there was two gear page things. The one guy said there has never been any internet forum more idiotic than that tard pack known as the gear page. 99% of the jagoffs that post on there only get to play guitar in their bedroom for an hour after they get home from their insurance selling cubicle jobs. Yet they are all experts on pedals, and they are absolutely certain that the original No Balls pedal have too much bass to fit, quote, in the mix, unquote. Man, that's pretty harsh. I don't know if I'd go that far, man. That's pretty harsh. Let's move on. There was one other question I wanted to get to here. What the hell was it? That was a good bit that Evo came up with about Frotion Way. That's the thing. He'll lay out every once in a while with one of those pretty fun. Evo used to have a Facebook account back in the day before we deemed it not cool to have any kind of social media. And man, the shit he used to write in there used to crack me up, man. He's a really funny cat. Let's see. That's it, I think. I think that's it for today. Pretty nice day here in Nashville. Hopefully it is where you are too. We should come up with a cool contest to give away this box of rock. I'll think of something. All right, guys. Peace out. Class dismissed.